I'm good? Okay. Sure. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm here to talk about working smart with Google Workspace, which over the years has just kind of expanded and expanded in terms of its capabilities to help companies get more done. And first I want to introduce myself. My name is Newman. I'm the CEO of Rise Digital. We're a Google Cloud partner located in Vancouver, Canada. And our role really, and by the way, connect with me on LinkedIn. Love to hear from any and all of you. Our role is really to help companies achieve more with Google Workspace. And we do that through deployment, training, support, and everything required in order to help companies get the most out of their Google Workspace solution. And today I want to share the story of a client of ours who had a, what I like to call a paper-based problem, where we transformed their paper-based process into a cloud-based workflow that's automated based on Google Workspace. The company I'm going to be talking to you about is called Green Tree Community Inclusion Programs, and it's a company located in British Columbia, Canada, that is driven by social purpose. They provide person-centered care for people with all kinds of different abilities and disabilities throughout British Columbia. They enhance their lives through long-term emergency and respite care, and they provide barrier-free support services to help people thrive both in their environment and in their community. They run programs in multiple regions across British Columbia, spanning about 800 kilometers. And so it's really important for them to be able to collaborate in real time in the cloud. And this is the problem that we face, actually. They have all kinds of paper-based processes, one of which is a workspace inspection checklist, which they have to complete on a regular basis in order to meet regulatory requirements and achieve the funding that they need in order to run their programs. And the challenges that they faced with their paper-based process are things like time-consuming manual inspections that took longer to complete than they needed to. Also inefficiency and a high potential degree of error in their inspection process. They also lacked real-time visibility, which was really important to members of the management team. Again, these programs are spread across 800 kilometers throughout rural and semi-rural British Columbia. And they didn't have any ability to analyze their inspection data so that they can monitor trends and make data-driven decisions in order to improve their processes. And the impacts of that were wasted resources, compliance risks, and the inability to make quick data-driven decisions. So, our Google Workspace solution, what did we do? Well, we actually went through a couple of different stages of thought. And our first thought was, well, Google Forms. Well, why don't we just use Google Forms? It's one of my favorite Google Workspace applications, in fact, because it does an excellent job at standardizing data collection and opens the door to analysis by bringing all of that standardized data collection into Google Sheets. The problem with Google Forms, however, is that it lacks the automation and versatility that you really need in order to really support collaborative multi-step workflows. So imagine if you do a property inspection or a vehicle inspection and you receive that data into a Google form. Well, what do you do next, right? How are you going to assign an action item? How are you going to follow up on that action item to make sure that those action items are completed and that your workplace or your vehicle is now compliant with whatever your safety standards are? You can't. And so we took a next step. And what we did is we teamed up with Set and Forget to combine the power of AppSheet with Google Workspace applications like Gmail, Google Sheets, Google Drive, and more. And with a little bit of magic from Google Apps Script, we were able to create and deliver an automated cloud-native experience that enables real-time workplace and vehicle inspections for Greentree programs. And you can see here in the screenshot a couple of the different parts of our application where an end user would be interacting with it in order to complete a workplace inspection, and also a management team member who's then assigned an action item that needs to be completed in order to become compliant. And this is how the application works. So first things first is the inspector at the place of business, or who's in charge of a particular vehicle perhaps, would complete an inspection form using a mobile optimized app, and they would do that on site. Second step is that managers and inspectors would get notified of inspections that were submitted and changes to the status of those inspections through dynamic emails in Gmail, which then they can interact with in order to make changes. Third, all of the data that's collected and subsequently revised through those Gmail notifications is stored and managed in versatile Google Sheets. And then Apps Script comes along and does a little bit of magic in order to automatically generate and assign action items whenever an undesirable result is submitted in an inspection. So for example, on the previous screen, we saw that an address number was partially obstructed by an overgrown vine, and that then becomes non-compliant and automatically generates an action item that is assigned to the inspector or reassigned to somebody else by the manager for completion. In other words, trim the vine, right? And then that action item gets completed and everybody receives their updates through their Gmail dynamic emails. When all is said and done, a finalized inspection form is loaded into Google Drive that is then cataloged according to the vehicle or the property in question, right? And that is really important because later on, the Greentree programs may be required to submit evidence of their completed inspections with time, date stamps, everything like that, to provincial regulators, insurance companies, funding agencies, things like that. And then finally, we haven't taken this step quite yet, but this is on the roadmap, is the ability to create dashboards in Looker Studio, where Greentree programs can then monitor trends in terms of the quality of inspections and the degrees of compliance between various different programs, locations, vehicles, and things like that. And then use that data in order to make data-driven decisions in order to improve their compliance, their safety, or the quality of the experience or the quality of service that they provide to their clients. And this is what Jesse Van Gurnbaum, the Executive Director of Greentree Programs, had to say. He said, "Our workplace and vehicle inspection apps have transformed tedious paper-based processes into user-friendly, standardized, and automated workflows. We've boosted compliance, reduced errors, cut inspection times, all while providing real-time visibility for improved safety, quality, service, and operational efficiency," which of course was not possible at all with their previous paper-based process, I should say. But we're not done yet. We've got a lot of other opportunities to work with Greentree. We're looking at incident reports. We're looking at critical incident reports, monthly emergency drill reports, weekly medication inventory, and even medication administration records and more to automate through AppSheet and all of the various Google Workspace apps. Again, taking more paper-based processes out of the equation and moving them into the cloud where they have that ability to have real-time visibility and analytical opportunities as well. So I thought I'd leave you with some words of wisdom in terms of what you may want to consider as you think about opportunities to take paper-based processes and move them into the cloud in order to help your clients or even your own companies. And the first thing is think big. There's no other platform like Google Workspace that works together so seamlessly to transform offline manual processes into integrated workflows. So there really are a lot of possibilities available to you in Google Workspace uniquely. The second is start small. So when we chose this opportunity for these monthly vehicle and workplace inspections, we chose them because they're relatively low risk. It's not a process that they go through every day where through the development process, if we ran into issues, it was going to grind their day-to-day operations to a halt. So we chose an application that was, on a monthly basis, a little bit lower risk, and one that was exposed to fewer of their employees. So these are only done by their management people, not something that is done by their frontline workers on a day-to-day basis, right? So start small, and as you start to build these applications, you will solve for issues along the way that you can then apply those learnings to some of the larger opportunities later on. The third one, expand possibilities. So Google Workspace applications integrate seamlessly across the board, and they can really do a lot of things right out of the box, right? But when you bring AppSheet and Google Apps Script into the equation, you really expand the possibilities of what you can do with Google Workspace. And a lot of those can be done with little code or no code at all. And then lastly, engage a partner, right? So if you find yourself running up against the barriers of your own capabilities, engage a Google Cloud partner who they exist to help clients do more and achieve more with Google Workspace. And that's all I had to share with you about our story and our journey with Green Tree Programs. So does anybody have any questions? No? All right, well, maybe you're too shy, but you can come see me after. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Thank you very much, everybody.